Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all are having an amazing day. Guys, in this video, I want to talk about the Chimera rewards, the relics, um, what my priority is now in terms of trials. As you've probably seen on the thumbnail, I tried to get as many mythical relic mats as possible, right? So for that, actually, I had to come up with another team. The Chimera clan boss is really unique, different from the other ones. I mean, all of them are kind of unique, right? For example, on the Demon Lord, you only have to get the one key chest damage, and once you reach that, that's pretty much it. There's no clash. Now for Hydra, there is a clash, so more damage is better for Hydra clash. You can win those clashes here and get, a primal shard, mythical books, and, pretty solid gear, protection, stone skin, which is still very viable. And the Chimera is a little bit different. So in Chimera, at first, my goal was to reach the one key chest, obviously. Pretty achievable for me, for my account at that moment. I just had to figure it out, what champs to use, and so on. It's always like that. Once new content drops, you kind of like have to get a feeling for what works and what doesn't, what do you need, and so on. So in the end, I got there pretty quickly. But it's not only the chest you want to aim for. Obviously, the top chest can reward you mythical gemstones, which is kind of nice, but there are no mythical relic mats, right? And that is kind of like the thing I want to get to. The most important part about the Chimera is completing trials that reward you mythical mats. That's pretty much my conclusion now after farming Chimera for months, and there's a reason for that, and I'm going to explain you exactly why that is. Now, this is not really easy to do, right? Like, you have to target specific trials, right? You need those buffs and debuffs that enable those trials that, reward you mythical mats. And this week, I was actually trying to get as many as possible. I used a team that can get up to 20, and I almost got 20 out of 25, which is pretty solid, to be honest. And I was so close multiple times. I tried it over and over again, like 5, 6 times. It's not easy to do, right? First of all, you gotta have the right champions. You need the right blessings. You need souls and so on. So it's really not easy to do, especially when you want to hit that one key damage as well. You need to have the champions, the gear, the blessings, and so on. So yeah, this is not really achievable for everybody, obviously. This is end game content, right? So even for me, I would say, my account is okay, is in a good spot, right? But even for me, this is really hard to do. But I was able to come up with a team that is, able to get a maximum amount of 20 mythical mats per key. And I'm actually going to do a video on this team right here. You can see it for this week. As you know, the trials change every week, right? Like the trials don't change, but the rewards are rotating. So, for example, next week, maybe this trial chain will reward mythical mats, and then, this one right here instead of this one at the bottom. So, there's a rotation of the rewards on the trials every week. And also now we have an affinity change. Now we have the new rotation. So I actually had to come up with another team because before that, some of you might know, I was using a Mikage Ninja team. And now with the Force affinity change, Ninja doesn't do what he's normally doing on Spirit and Magic and so on. But it would probably still work to get the one key. I just want to focus on getting mythical mats. And because the rewards are rotating, you kind of need maybe like 3 or 4 different teams to get, the most amount of mythical mats. 25 is really hard to do. I don't know if I can do it, probably not. But if I can get at least 15 or 20, I'm totally fine with that. Now, if I can get another 5 or 7 from Nightmare, that means I would get like 20 plus per week, 20 plus mythical mets per week, which means I need like, 5 weeks to get a mythical craft. And this also leads me to another question where I'm asking myself if it's even worth to run Nightmare, and maybe I should just run 2 Ultra Nightmare keys and get mythical mets. If I can hit 20, that's twice, 2 keys, 20 mets per key. That's 40 mets a week. That's crazy, actually. So if I was able to get those 20 mets easily, and for that I probably just need some upgrades here and there, then I would probably consider this, because that means I need only like 2-3 weeks to get a craft. After 5 weeks I have like 2 mythical crafts. That's crazy, right? So what I would sacrifice is the Starstone from here, right? That's a lot of Starstone, because I get this chest twice, a lot of gemstones, the basalt, and so on. A couple of relic material here, which is not really good, like 2 to 4 legendary mats. I don't know if it's worth it, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely think about this, because on my mind, this is probably better, to farm Ultra Nightmare and get those relic mats, as many as possible. And the reason for that is, now we're gonna talk about that. I am in a good spot with relics. I got 4. I got the heart 3 times. That's a little bit lucky or unlucky, whatever you want to call it. And then I just crafted this one from, the mythical mats from the path. But I'm not gonna count that in. But what I want to get to is, at some point, the only relics you really care about are the mythicals. At this point, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wands now. And I'm already like, okay, maybe I need another 3, and then I'm good. I don't need more than that. I have enough aspects. I have enough golden elixirs. I don't look like I have so many. I don't need more than that, actually. I have 2 coronets. I have everything I need. I have 3 coronets, actually. I do have everything I need, to be honest, in terms of epics, legendary, relics. Obviously, as I said, I could use some more wands, but it's not really that necessary. Anyway, what I want to get to is, at this point, the only relics I really care about are the mythicals. Obviously, I have this now 3 times, so I don't want it anymore. But this one right here, even this one would be absolutely amazing with the additional speed. Or the Stormcaller, right? The Stormcaller also absolutely stunning. So if you have this on your Marius, he will be an absolute beast. The Chrono Cube, you can do so many fun things with this relic. So as I said, none of these other relics are really benefiting my account anymore. Obviously, I could use some of these relics on like Faction Wars champions and so on. But my main champions that I'm using and my main teams, they are pretty much set with legendary relics, epic relics, and so on. So it's really all about mythical relics. They are just so powerful that for me, it just makes the most sense to go after them. And the best way to do that is just, get as many mythical mats out of the Chimera. I could care less about, rare crafts and just get another, one of these rare relics that I'm not using. I'm probably going to feed them, and that's about it. So it's really just about the mythical relic mats for me from now on. Now you could argue, but hey, there's still the clash, the Chimera clash. And yes, I would also say, to a certain degree, this is still important, right? It's still important to compete in here. But the thing is that, we placed, like, I don't know how often in those months now since Chimera got released, but multiple times, right? Like we got this chest multiple times. And the problem really is that the rewards are just not worth it. Like, okay, I'm getting mythical gemstones. I got maybe 1 in all those chests, or 2 maximum. I actually don't know, but the reality is that you get 1 gemstone, right? And it can be a rare one. Even for the first, if you place first, you can get a rare gemstone. And that's just bad. So it's not really worth it to sacrifice a lot of, mythical mats and a potential mythical relic, which is much more impactful than, a potential mythical gemstone, which is probably not going to drop anyway. So in my opinion, it's better, to get as many mythical mats, and then you can still try to place maybe 3rd or 2nd or whatever. But what I wouldn't do is, for example, do something like this with Titus. Get 5 trials. Okay, your damage looks cool, but it doesn't really help you. Like, it doesn't really help you. Yes, it looks nice, but you're kind of missing out on relic material, which could be a possible mythical relic and such a huge game changer. But this is, in my opinion, not worth it. So at first, my goal was to reach like 8 billion clash points so I can collect those gemstones here every week. And that is still my goal, kind of. I want to get as many mythical mats as I can and still reach the 8 billion clash points. That would be like the best scenario, I can possibly imagine. But it's not easy to do. Now, if I would have to choose 8 billion clash points per week or 20 mythical mats, I would go with the 20 mythical mats every time. But I don't know, guys, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, right? Would you rather go for more clash points, try to place in clash, or would you rather go for more mythical mats? I guess it also depends on other things. Like, if you want to target mythical mats, you really have to manual your Chimera keys, and that costs a lot of time. For example, it took me like 5-6 hours, right? Obviously, it was kind of a new team, so I had to figure out how and what to use when and so on. So it took a lot of time to get used to that team, but once I figured it out, it went smoother. But it's still hard to do all these trials that reward mythical mats, and I think that's probably a big factor when it comes to Chimera. It's the manual time that you need to spend to get those mythical mats. But if you would have the time to do that, would you do it, or would you rather just go for more damage, more clash points? But anyway, that's about it for this video. I'm gonna drop a video on this team right here. I got 15 mythical mats with this team. I was almost getting 20, so that's 20 out of 25 from Ultra Nightmare. Pretty cool, to be honest. I'm very happy I found this team, but this is just for this week. So next week I'm gonna try something else. Hopefully I can come up with something else. I don't know if my roster allows it, but we will see. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really goes a long way. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, see you in the next video.